Swift and Tips podcast. We have talked right now about your courses and your content creation, but
Hmm.
you have a full time job, and
Yes.
you have to do all those things in your free time,
Hmm.
and you have a family.
Yep.
Yeah. So how do you manage all of that?
Yes. So when I started with Udemy in probably like 2000 and late 2006, 15 or 16, then my kids were, they were very young.
Yeah.
And I have a really good wife, a really caring wife, and she always supports my work. And what she would do is she would take out the kids to the mall for a couple of hours, or she would take them to the park so I can record
Right.
because, kids cry and then your whole video is kind of like you have to restart.
I know that.
So she helped me a lot initially with those times. Even now, she helps me a lot with all the things. Although my kids are now grown up, so most of my recordings I would do like early morning, weekends, a little bit later at night. So it's definitely hard to manage time, but recording itself, the video recording, that I can do really quickly because as I mentioned, I don't really edit that much. It's mostly one take. The creating or preparing the content, that kind of or researching that usually takes time. So mostly it's on the weekend, early morning, sometime on my break time I can do it, sometime on my vacation I can do it. So all of that time is spent, and slowly just chipping away for the lectures and all the courses. Eventually I get there. So, but it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. If you have to average your time for that, how
Mhm.
much time do you spend weekly for creating content?
I would say creating content average time 5 days a week, maybe around maybe 10 hours or so, maybe less than 10 hours.
10
Yeah.
hours. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a great good. I mean,
Mhm.
I admire you, man, because
Yeah.
it's I know what it is. It's
Mhm.
complicated, and I do something similar. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. ish
Yeah.
to work on that, and just because I want a quiet environment to concentrate and focusing on what I'm doing. Because once the kids are waking up, I have to prepare them for the the school or so. And
Yeah.
like you, I have an awesome wife that
Mhm.
helped me with that. But yeah, I mean, you need to also spend time with the family because
Absolutely. Yeah.
it is the first priority in our life.
Mhm.
So, but wow, I definitely feel that it's good to learn from people like you that are waking up and do something else beyond uh, their job, their full time job, which is
Absolutely. Yeah.
great, man.
Yep.
So, and I'm curious about this. Maybe this is maybe an off topic question, uh,
Mhm.
but I have suffered that, and I'm asking if maybe you had the same issue earlier or maybe not, but. Uh, some time ago, I had an issue, and I got a burnout because
Mhm.
I worked so much on my content, and I had to stop and take a break, focus on my health, and to keep going. So I'm doing content, but not as fast or
Mhm.
as better as before. Okay. In your case, had you ever faced any kind of burnout for doing this extra job, extra work?
Mhm.
In your personal life, or how
Mhm.
do you manage that?
All right. Before I answer that, rain and the thunderstorm has really, really, really picked up. So I can tell you that there is a possibility that I will lose electricity.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
so just to let you know, but yeah, it is going crazy out there. I can see it from my office. It is going really bananas out there. I don't know what's going on. Uh,
Wow, Houston is,
yeah,
is
it
crazy with
is.
the weather.
Yeah, it is literally like a storm out there right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Don't
yeah.
worry.
All right.
Hopefully, we can end the conversation
Yeah.
on time.
No, I
Yeah,
mean it's fine, but I just letting you know that
yeah,
electricity does go out. So anyway, so yes,
yeah.
so your question about burnout. Um, I don't know if I suffer from burnout or this. Yeah, but I here's the thing. I think if I was in, and I love Colorado. If I was in Colorado, maybe I would have been like spending more time in the mountains. I'm in Houston, so there's not, and I know people in Houston will be like, what are you talking about? But there's not much, at least for me, to do in Houston. So there's not really much any option for me to go and
Okay.
hike mountains because there are no mountains, or to go anywhere, I guess. So I'm that kind of a person who is who cannot not be doing anything. So I have to be doing something. So I don't
Okay.
really just sit around and watch TV or something like that. So
Okay.
I have option that I can just work on something, read a book, work on my programming stuff. I can go to a gym. So options are quite limited. And I think when you have options that are quite limited, then you just choose one of them.
Hmm.
But I think it will be different. Like if I was in Montana, if I was in maybe California or maybe Colorado, then you will definitely not see that much content from me because I would be somewhere hiking in the mountains. I don't want to be sitting in front of the computer all the time. So and I don't really get that much burnout or anything. I do take breaks. I go for a gym, for a swim. So these kind of things I would always do. But yeah, at the end of the day, I get really tired because of all the work. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's not like burnout that I don't want to work. Yeah.
I see. I'm seeing right now some dislikes from Houston people for that term.
They will. I think they will dislike. And I think one other thing that I've learned about life is you should always be just looking forward for something. Even it can be like a trip to your favorite restaurant or
Yeah.
trip to wherever. Like right now, I'm looking forward for my trip to Deep Dish,
Yeah.
which is in coming a couple of days. And
Yeah.
then I will be looking forward for my first trip to Europe for Swift Craft conference. I'm speaking over there, and then I'll be looking forward for something else like going to Portugal. So there always, I think that will just keeps you motivated. That just keeps you going.